What's up, everyone? I'm Camilio Salamander.
And I'm KB the Mark.
And together, we some fucking marks. Here you can catch everything in the world of wrestling.
That's right. Whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, you name it, we got it.
You can catch all new episodes every Sunday.
You can also catch us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Now, if you like us, like really like us, come and check us out on YouTube at WBPTV Wrestling. Once again, you can catch all new episodes every Sunday.
Now, what a way to end your week than to listen to the boys over here.
That's right. WBPTV presents the D&B podcast. You don't want to miss it. And like always, we'll see you on the next one. One time, motherfucker. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of the D&B podcast. I'm your host, Camilio Salamander, and my co-host, KB the Mark.
Because I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
Now, guys, I know y'all wondering why there's no visuals. Why can't I see y'all? Well, we changed some things up behind the scenes, and when we come back, it's gonna be a brand new look for everything. And yes, like y'all heard in the beginning, we are on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcast, you can catch us there every Sunday. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode.
Thank you, Camilio Salamander. First off, before we jump into anything, as always, how you doing?
I am doing excellent. Can't complain at all. Really looking forward to Crown Jewel. I want to see what's going to be popping with that.
It absolutely looks good on paper to me, but I'm a little bit concerned. So, on today's podcast, we got a little bit of everything. We're going to discuss Dynamite that happened on Saturday. We got some news stories for you, and we're going to give you guys our predictions for Crown Jewel. With that being said, let's jump into it. Dynamite on Saturday. Malachi Black versus Dante Martin. Malachi Black wins with the Black Mask. I thought it was a great match, if I'm being honest. That's just the AEW bias in me as well. Let me be honest. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good. I thought it was going to be infinitely better. It was not. Malachi Black still got the win. Dante Martin still looked good in defeat. And Malachi Black gave him a head nod as well. What did you think of this? Do you agree with me? It was good, could have been better, or do you think this was a great match for Malachi and Young Dante?
Now, I think it made Dante Martin really look like a star. But to me, every time Malachi Black stepped into that ring, I just really think I really think every time he step in that ring, he just I know the WWE executive got to be slapping themselves because he looked fucking amazing. And I just look at it like when he came, he was literally with the WWE like 5 months ago. And what he's doing over here at AEW, it just makes you look at it like, what the hell was y'all doing?
Well, Salamander, they hit him in a fucking closet when he could have been kicking people's heads off. He was having fantastic matches with Buddy Murphy that they released, and then they beat you over the head with it multiple times because it was just that good. When you could give us a story and let Malachi Black, at the time Aleister Black, do what he's doing now in AEW.
That gimmick wasn't that bad though. Like, I think they gave it too much time that it needed. That's what I think. But overall, it wasn't really that bad. It just that kept them keep cutting promos, but ain't showing. So I think it would have been something better if they had them cut a promo one week, the next week it could be a jobber match. And then the next week you have them cut promo again. Like you have them cut promo, next week set an example. Cut a promo, set an example. That's what it could have been, but I think they kept him away for too long. That hurt him.
If I'm being honest with you, Salamander, I think, because like you, I don't think the gimmick is bad. My bigger problem is there's no end game. And what I mean is, in order for you to start, somebody has to knock on his door. That's the thing. Nobody was knocking on his door.
They let you know motherfuckers was scared.
Exactly, but like you said, he should have been having matches to establish that, slowly going up the card, and then you can make it like an inside joke in the office. You know what I'm saying? Make it like an inside joke. Like, I bet you won't knock on Alistair's door. Like, oh yeah, and then as soon as they go to knock, the door opens, and you cut it off. There's your matchup with a higher talent for the night involving Alistair Black. But nobody will knock on his door. He's not having matches, so now he just looks like somebody who's scared and is hiding in the room closet. But it's like, knock on my door and I can show you exactly what I'm about.
But can we agree on one thing?
Sure.
What we seeing now is what he should have been in WWE.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Should have been. Next up, we have the Jurassic Express and the Elite backstage segment. I thought this was good. They did the Shield Powerbomb to Luchasaurus to the table after the botch Powerbomb in Philadelphia. What I love about AEW and the Elite is that they can take something like a botch and play on it and like show you like, yeah, we're acknowledging we messed up. Now we're going to correct it. I thought this was a fantastic segment. 2 thumbs up, honestly. What would you think?
All of AEW promos is good. I would just say overall AEW is a good show. I just want to know. I mean, just looking at it, it's like the Elite. They beefing with the Jurassic Express. I don't know. I can't fully get behind that. The promo was good though, but I just can't fully get behind. I don't take that rivalry seriously. I'm like, the Elite can demolish them.
Yeah, but Luchasaurus is a dinosaur. He's 65 million years old and he has a PhD. I'm sorry, a master's. He's got a master's.
Y'all gotta take everybody else out and the rest of the league just jump on them. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Call all your people from New Japan, Impact, call them over.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take a lot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
I mean, 3 of them couldn't lift them up properly, so it's gonna take more than 3.
You know what? Wasn't it 4? It was 4 of them.
It was 4
of them. 4 of them couldn't lift him up. You right. They might need New Japan.
They need everybody.
Yeah.
They need Tammy Tonga. They need all of them.
Yeah. You know who would have helped? The big LG, Luke Gallows.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I would love to see that match. Luke Gallows and Luchasaurus.
Oh yeah.
That'd be good. Ooh.
That would be a good one.
That'd be a BD beef fest.
Men slapping beef. Is exactly what it is. Well, next up we have the Inner Circle American Top Team promo next. In this one, the Inner Circle did lose to American Top Team on Rampage. And now they're wanting a 10-man tag, but the Men of the Year, Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Dan Lambert, they're looking for championship gold. So now they challenge Sammy Guevara. I don't know who they're going. I don't know which one of them is going to fight. But I love the Inner Circle and American Top Team dynamic storyline. It's different. Like when I saw Junior Dos Santos and Jake Hager get in the ring, and it immediately went from wrestling to MMA style shoot fighting. Mm-hmm. I like the look. I like the dynamic. Adding Sammy Guevara, the TNT champion, to this is just better. And it's always good to see an Inner Circle reunion. It's something about Judas that just gets to me every time.
It's Chris Jericho, baby.
It's Chris Jericho. So, what did you think of this? What do you think about American Top Team, Jorge Masvidal, Junior Dos Santos? And Chris Jericho had a couple of good lines on one of the guys' wives. But what do you think about American Top Team Inner Circle?
So, Junior, what's his name?
Junior Dos Santos.
So he's the star out of the team.
No, it's Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, but it doesn't help to have Junior Dos Santos and Jorge Masvidal in uniform.
No, I'm saying he's the star I see. Just like, Angelo Dawkins is the star out of both of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm pointing him out as the star.
I can see that.
So
I would say more so a Jorge Masvidal because he's dropped like Chris Jericho twice, but they made their living outside of AEW and wrestling in general.
Yeah, I think if they so happen to break up,
yeah,
he would be the one that would really be overall had a better career.
Oh, I can see. Yeah.
I could just see it in him.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Sammy Guevara, what I don't think his title reign gonna be that long. I think he'll probably have like 3 to 4 defenses, but I think people basically gonna try him, and what I mean by that is people gonna get to the point where, like, you know, that because the way he look and whatever, they ain't taking him serious. Like, they kind of think he's soft. So I think they gonna, like, they're testing him and shit, or they calling him out and all that. But I think this is gonna prove that he has to be a fighting champion. But I don't think his title reign gonna go as long as Miro went on. But he'll have, like, I think about 4 or 5 before he dropped it. But 4 or 5, that's probably like almost 6 months. AEW, so
I see where you're going, and I do like your.
He's gonna
idea.
be that fighting champion.
Yeah,
it's gonna prove, make people take him more serious.
Yeah, because as of right now, he hasn't done anything since being Miro, but it is good to surround him with the inner circle, and I can see what you're saying here, where he is tested by some of the bigger guys, some of the stronger guys.
Just think about it. He got slapped around plenty of times. Fucking Matt Hardy ran him over with a go-kart. So it's like people ain't taking him serious.
You know what? I will take a Lance Archer versus Sammy Guevara TNT Championship.
I would love to see the build. That would be good. If he can defeat him, I would think it'd be the build up to, you know, putting some respect on his name. But I think at the end of this title reign, it's gonna get to a point where it's like, all right, you look at the match card, you be like, damn, I gotta face Sammy. So it's gonna make you think like, all right, I gotta be prepared. Yeah, I think that title reign is gonna make out of him.
Yeah, you know, he is one of the 4 pillars of AEW with MJF, Darby Allin, and this is for MJF, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy. So those are the 4 pillars, and I can see that because it was being with Chris Jericho put him over the first hump. Winning the TNT Championship puts you over the second. A great TNT title run pretty much makes you a solidified household name.
Yes.
And that's where we need Sammy Guevara to be, because we're going to need him to be AEW champion probably about the next 3 to 5 years. He's going to be one of the next AEW champions. So I see what you mean. Next up, AAA Tag Team Championships on the line. The Lucha Bros versus some friends of Andrade El Idolo. Las Super Ranas, the Super Frogs. The Super Frogs win. Turns out it was FTR. I thought this was fantastic, but if I'm being real, Salamander, I gotta call a spade a spade. The match was good. This was god awful because when Otis dressed up as the wrestler in the tag team match, I didn't like that. And I don't like it when WWE does shit like this. I don't like it when AEW does it. The match was great. I don't think we had to do the Las Superanas. I don't think we had to do that. We could have just had Andrade hanging off MJF, and which is basically what we got at in a later segment. But we didn't have to go through all of this for a AAA title change. So I'm kind of in the middle. It's god awful, but the match was 2 thumbs up. What did you think?
See, with this, I was disappointed because it's AEW, but it really played on who that was with before. I mean, it's obvious, you know, both of them was with, well, all 3 of them was with WWE.
It felt real WWE like.
Yeah, and I was like, but then it's AAA, and AAA is the Mexican promotion, right?
Yes.
FTR isn't.
They are not luchadors.
Yeah, they far from luchadors.
Yeah.
So the way they build it up, I was thinking, you know, this is a perfect debut for another team, or like, you know,
one of their up and coming teams.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, but nah, it just, I don't know. Like, the match was good, but it just took me out of this. Like, now I'm kind of thinking, you know, even though he had one good match, I'm thinking, like, you know, they on the decline with Andrade. What? He's happy where he's at, but I think booking wise and all that is, I I'm not getting the same feel as I get with Aleister Black, not Aleister Black, but Malachi Black, or with all the other signees and stuff. Like I'm trying to feel like he like Sean Spears. Like even though you was Ty Dillinger shit, every year you number 10 in the Royal Rumble, you got a big pop and shit. And the way like you, I don't know. I feel like they being underutilized. I'm like shit. He was better off in WWE. That was doing the same shit with you.
I can see why you say that. I'm not gonna agree with the Sean Spears. I feel like now that he's in the Pinnacle, he's a great mid-card, upper main eventer, lower main eventer type of wrestler. I completely agree with you with Andrade. I feel like they completely dropped the ball, but when I look back on it, there's only so much you can do. They tried Vicky, it didn't work. They tried Chavo, it didn't work. They wanted to bring in Rick, which I believe would have been the answer. I believe Ric Flair would have shot him to the moon, but the dark side of the ring happened. Andrade might just need to figure it out on his own.
Or he out of there.
Or he's out of there. And I don't think Tony Khan will release him, but you can see, like with Miro, he came in as the best man. We didn't like it. He came back as the Redeemer. Boom. He's one of the greatest wrestlers right now. Andrade, we've tried it 3 times. We haven't gotten it right. And it's amazing that only Triple H got it right with Zelina Vega.
Andrade is one of the wrestlers that need a mouthpiece. He needs somebody with him. For one, his English is not that good. Even though he's improving, it's not that good. But then that's where you got to put a fucking play to it. If they not gonna put nobody with him, I would have him be a fucking heel of all heels. Like, you know, at one point being like Alberto, when he first came and stuff, I have him be the heel of all heels, have him come out, cut promos, and have him switch from English to Spanish off and on. Like, just do it. Just talk until you don't know more words, then expect to switch to Spanish.
You know what the problem is? They didn't put him with Cody Rhodes. Cody could have.
You think that would have worked?
Cody got over Brody. He got over Malachi.
Oh, you talking about in the program?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you putting Cody, it seems like, and I would love this type of run for Cody, this to be his character. He just gets over any WWE guys that come over. It's a nice little character for him.
Because he know how to
he knows how to get you over.
Yeah, he know how to get you out of that WWE mode.
Yeah.
Everybody else too. Andrade, he's still stuck in WWE mode probably.
Yeah, like how
he been with them for like 4 years.
Yeah,
so,
like how Moxley could be the guardian to the Forbidden Door with New Japan, Impact, or anything else. Cody Rhodes can be the guardian of if you're coming over from WWE. Coming over from WWE, your first program is with Cody Rhodes. And it will work because Andrade will become a heel anyway. So he could really come out, lay Cody out after a match, and we pretty much run the same formula that we ran with Brody Lee, that we ran with Malachi Black. Andrade gets a quick win. Point blank period. That's exactly how it should have been done, but it wasn't done. But I'm with you. I definitely agree. With the Andrade, this match, it was good, but with the FTR dressing up like the luchadors, it just took it out. Leo Rush, Dante Martin backstage interview. Dante Martin lost. Leo Rush is his new tag team partner. I thought this was decent enough for what it was.
So, I think it's gonna lead into a matchup between the two.
Well,
I can see that coming.
I think this is all a setup for Darius to come back and save him. Either that or they form trios. It'll be Top Flight, Darius, and Dante Martin, and Leo Rush. And there'll be like a new trios to add to the trios match. Which wouldn't be bad either. I can go for it.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But I think worst case scenario, it's gonna lead into, possibly him turning heel, Leo Rush turning heel.
I can see that too.
And then it's gonna lead into a match between the two. But like you said, he's the star. Out of
Andrade and the Pinnacle backstage segment next with Tony Schiavone pretty much talking to Andrade El Idolo about what happened. And like I said earlier, Andrade paid MJF for the services of FTR. Now, when I saw this, it kind of felt like a spit in my face, but I also loved the explanation of why. He paid off MJF for the services of FTR, but now that I look back on it, we didn't need the Super Frogs bullshit. They could have just came out as FTR. What do you think about this?
I mean, it was alright for what it was. Yeah, it was alright for what it was.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I can't wait, and I hope they do it soon. And that's possibly what he needs to get him over. But a matchup between the two would do justice. Andrade, MJF.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
That might, but if they're gonna keep him by himself, that might be the matchup or the program that he needs just to get him over the hump that he is now.
I can see that as an AEW World Championship match down the line. Andrade challenging MJF. Andrade is the big one.
That could work too.
But the thing is, you have to do it like.
Nah, he gotta be a heel. He could be.
I mean,
he was in NXT. He was a heel, but he was getting cheers.
Yeah. You're right. You do that. But you gotta do it in the right place. Like, you can't just put it somewhere random. It's gotta be done in like a Miami or Florida or California.
Let him win it in Orlando. Where motherfucking NXT is that. Let him win it. Where did he win the first NXT title? Is that a takeover, right?
Takeover. I want to say Philadelphia. I think it was Philly.
They had win in Philly.
Nah, I would want him to win it in like Miami, where he's got that hair, where he's got the Hispanic backing. Because I feel like if you do it somewhere else, there's that possibility.
California.
California. You can do it there, or like Arizona, Texas, somewhere where he's gonna have that back, to where they'll have no choice but to cheer. Because I feel like because like, you won't have CM Punk lose in Chicago. It just doesn't make sense. So if Andrade is in one of these places with a all-time great historic Hispanic backing, then he shouldn't lose. Point blank, period. And I could see AEW doing Andrade and MJF for the AEW World Championship down the line with Andrade as big.
You know what would be the ultimate person, the most hated person in AEW if they would do this? Next time they in Chicago, have somebody come out and just demolish CM Punk, like beat his ass, like a squat, like a real squash, but it was like a hurt to watch type of stuff, like the type that he gonna be rating off TV for a little bit just to get that person over. But have him do in Chicago, like they gonna boo the hell out of him.
I mean,
next week have him come out. Well, not even next week, Friday, have him come out, cut a promo, talking shit.
The fans hate Cody. Why not do that in Chicago? Have Cody Rhodes go over CM Punk the next time you're in Chicago. Give them a reason to hate Cody Rhodes. And like you said, just have it in a squash. Because how many times has Cody put over somebody by allowing himself to be squashed by said person? You got to get it back to him. And that would be a great way to get it back to him. Next up, Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley got the win in about a minute 30. I thought Jon Moxley looked fantastic in this squash match. What did you think? I thought he came out with a great, a pissed off demeanor. I thought he looked really great.
Yeah. Shit. Give it up.
Exactly.
AEW first squash match.
I don't know.
Question mark?
Big Show
it
squashed,
seemed like
Big Show squashed QT Marshall at All Out.
Ain't nobody want to see that.
Of course.
But the first squash match on free TV, on regular TV.
That was Brody and Cody.
Well, it's the first WWE. Nah, it's Brody.
Listen.
Well, it's a squash match. It's the least expected. First squash match of 2020. Nah, first squash match of this month.
There you go.
But I mean, yeah. If this was, because I don't really like squash matches like that unless it really benefits the character more. But or something like this, like a character change. Like, so if this really leads into a more aggressive Jon Moxley, I'm all for it.
I think, because you see the way Orange Cassidy was looking in John Moxley's direction when he left, I agree with you. I think Moxley's turning heel, and that first program is going to be Orange Cassidy, John Moxley. And I don't
He gonna beat the slough out of Orange Cassidy, watch.
Probably, but I think they'll do the same thing that they do with Pac, giving him all these comedy spots, and you'll just see John Moxley get pissed and more pissed. Those paradigm shifts are going to look brutal. Yeah.
Watch. It's gonna lead it to if John Moxley gonna win. He gonna beat the hell. He gonna beat the hell out of Orange Cassidy. And next time you see Orange Cassidy, he just gonna be Cassidy. He ain't gonna be Orange Cassidy. He gonna beat the slough out of him. He gonna chill out on him. He gonna change. He gonna beat him to a gimmick change.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up, Serena Deeb, Hikaru Shida backstage segment. Serena Deeb cut a nice little promo before she was beat up by Hikaru Shida. They were backstage fighting. I thought it did its job. Good to see that they're going to start this program. Serena Deeb needs something to do, and people have been clamoring for Hikaru Shida to be back on TV. I think this is going to be great. I think Hikaru Shida gets her 50th win at Full Gear. What did you think?
I'm still new to the two of them. So I mean, I kind of don't know what was going on between the two.
So I'll fill you in real quick. Hikaru Shida was going for her 50th win in AEW to become the first woman to get 50 wins. She was going against Serena Deeb. Serena Deeb tapped her out with the Serenity Lock and then hit her with her 50th win award, which she would have gotten. Hikaru Shida would have gotten it. She beat Serena. So pretty much
she
Serena
spoiled
Deeb
her 50th win.
Pretty much.
Oh, so that's the right view.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
It is, like, you know how high I am on Serena.
It sounds good, yeah.
Next up, we have the Dark Order versus the Super Click 6-man tag. Reynolds, Silver, Evil Uno versus the Bucks. Adam Cole, Super Click with the win. I thought this was fantastic. 2 thumbs up. One spot I do like is when they run the ropes and the Bucks give him a kiss. The Reynolds and Silver, this is different. So I'm about to go everywhere, Solomon. Just stick with me, okay? So on Being the Elite, the Dark Order members, Reynolds and Silver, who were in the 6-man tag for Dark Order, they're trying to befriend Adam Cole. So they have been talking about like stealing a kiss. And that's why that spot was so memorable, where they took the Bucks out and Silver and Reynolds gave Adam Cole a kiss on the cheek, and he was like, "You guys aren't the right guys who usually do this spot." I just thought it was a nice little comedy spot. Really added more to the match. I thought this match was 2 thumbs up. Honestly, it was the second best match on the show. I'll say that. What did you think about it?
So, all right, let me ask you this.
Yes.
The Elite.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks,
Yep.
Adam Cole, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows.
Of course.
That's it.
Brandon Cutler, Don Callis, and Michael Nakazawa.
So you got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson a tag.
Yes.
Young Bucks a tag.
Yes.
And the Young Bucks and Adam Cole as a trio.
Yes. And also Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, and the Bucks if they ever want to do 8-man tag. I mean, honestly, they can do 10-man tag, 6-man tag. I mean, the Good Brothers, the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Kenny Omega.
So you got 2 tags with 4 tags in the 5-man group. It's that 8-man group.
Yes.
Oh, that just confusing. Cause you said Super Click, then you. I don't know. That was confusing me.
Yeah. So you have the Elite, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, Adam Cole, Brandon Cutler, the Good Brothers, Michael Nakazawa. But then you have the Super Crew, which is Adam Cole and the Young Bucks.
Sound like a game. Like the Elite is the overall game, and you got your sets.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like.
yeah. I can see that. I can see that. It can get confusing at times, but just know you're getting great wrestling with any member of the Elite. Some more than others.
They didn't added members in.
Hey. You don't talk about Brandon Cutler, the student. That's the young boy.
They just about as big as Wu-Tang.
Hey, the Elite, we rolled it. But what did you think of the match, though?
Yeah, I mean, they work all well together. I just like how versatile the Young Bucks are. And what I didn't know, but it do make sense, is that Dark Order is a babyface group.
Oh, of course.
And it do make sense, so. But, I mean, it was good. I mean, all the AEW multi-man tag matches is great. They never stare you wrong with anything when it comes to 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4. It doesn't matter. You'll get it all in one.
They did an 18-man tag.
Oh my God. I think that's too much. That's too much action going on.
I'm sorry, it was 16 men. It wasn't 18, it was 16.
That's too. That's why I draw the line.
16?
4 is enough. Like 8.
Nah, WWE give you 5-on-5. 5-on-5.
Well, they can get that once a year.
Yeah, I mean AEW ain't just handing it out every week. Like we ain't just throwing 9 motherfuckers out there. Like I'm sorry, 18 motherfuckers. Like yeah, go out there and do a 9-man tag team.
They'll do this shit once a month.
I can't help it. You gonna criticize us because we actually love tag team
The
wrestling?
fucking ring don't break. All that weight on there.
No. Oh, one more thing. WWE uses tag ropes, right?
Get a little string.
Yeah. That you're supposed to hold on, right?
Yeah.
So that's a tag, right? But you gotta be holding the tag rope when you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You know Biggie but he wasn't holding the tag rope. So technically Drew McIntyre was the legal man. But I say this to say that AEW loses track of who the fucking legal guy is every fucking tag team match.
Yeah, it's believable because WWE got rules that they don't go by anyways. Because that's a rule, but it's only matter when that's going to equivalent to the story. Like if your tag partner and they get beat up and it's time to create a hot tag, and then you reaching for it, then that's what will come and play with the Rippler. Hey, you gotta grab it. But if it's any time else during the match, it don't matter if you grab it in or not. But I have wondered, like it happened a couple times. I don't watch WWE shit, and I'm looking like, nah, that person was actually legal and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it just happens. It's a lot going on.
Okay.
They keep it entertaining though.
Oh yeah. Very much so.
I hate one thing I do hate is that, and this happens a lot in WWE. In a tag match, if I'm tagging, me and you tagging, and you get beat up and whatever, you better go for a pin. They act like the team act like they can't go in there and break it up because they did it once already. I know that's an unwritten rule that you're gonna interrupt once, but it's like, come on, you just literally gotta sit there and watch. But it's an unwritten rule for the babyface team, the heel team. They go in there all the time and stuff. But it's like you gotta add some type of realism. It's 2021.
I don't understand. Each team is given one breakup. I'm like, when you do it early, I'm like, you just take away all of the excitement.
Yeah.
Like I need to know that at any moment, any team can make the breakup. But you know what I hate about AEW is that, and this is what I love when WWE does it. Like the finish is there when the other teammate goes to guard. In AEW, they'll guard, but clearly it's somebody who's coming over. Remember that episode of Family Guy where it was a Star Wars and it was like he moved slightly to the left?
Mm-hmm.
That's how AEW are when it comes to the setting. Like I could be here, right, looking right at you, but somebody else is coming slightly to the left. Nah, but I'm focused on you, so I don't see them. And they make the save.
Yeah.
Like how fucking goofy is that? That's fucking goofy. Moving on, we had a Cody Rhodes promo package next. This was just him and Arn Anderson training. They're running Malachi Black Cody Rhodes 3 on the next episode of Dynamite. Salamander, I'm not going to lie to you. I did not like this. I don't like Malachi Black Cody Rhodes 3. I'm actually quite scared that Cody Rhodes is going to squash Malachi Black. And we're going to be talking about the biggest fucking blunder that AEW has ever done. What do you think?
Too soon.
Too fucking soon.
Too soon. That's really is too soon. But it does point to, Malachi Black taking his first loss. But this loss gonna be devastating because you dominated him twice.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
And Cody really ain't had no build up for him to even, have the win.
Yeah. Moving on, MJF segment next. He was supposed to have a match with Darby Allin, but Darby Allin was written off TV. He was attacked by 5 masked men. He was telling the referee to count to 10 so Darby Allin could be counted out since he didn't show up. Sting showed up and beat up Wardlow and MJF. I thought this was good. It was a good way to keep the feud going. Maybe we get a Wardlow versus Sting match. What did you think?
I like how Sting is basically Darby Allin mentor. And
that's his dad. That's his dad.
Real life?
No. Kayfabe, that's his dad.
But I like how that is, and it's like, MJF, he's a motherfucker. He's a motherfucker on the mic.
Oh yeah, he can talk his ass off.
Yes, and that's really weird shit. That's every time he pick up the mic, that's how I be. I'm like, shit, because I know he about to say something fucked up or be an asshole or some shit.
Right, he was talking to the fat guy out there. I was just like, all right, MJF, are you just starting to flame the motherfuckers that just sit in the fucking audience? Like, this is the type of heel work you won't get in WWE. And this is the type of heel work that I believe is missing in WWE. Heels like this, very old school heels. It's a reason why MJF is hated as soon as it's music. And it's because of shit like this.
It was a great way to get, the Inner Circle on TV.
No, I mean Sting and Darby, or just Sting.
Nah, what's the name of MJF and his clique? The Inner Circle is
No, they're beefing with American Top Team.
Is he still part of the Inner Circle?
MJF? No. MJF he's got his own Pinnacle.
The Pinnacle, yes, that's what I was looking for. It was a good way to get the Pinnacle on TV. Get the use, you know what I'm saying? The use left out of them.
Yeah, you know what? Now that you pointed out, the Pinnacle were all over this.
Yeah.
Like, they had the AAA Tag Team title match, the Andrade El Idolo segment, MJF now. Like, MJF can get his boys on TV, get them on there in prominent positions. And I like that a lot, actually.
They just didn't use them all in one segment.
Which was good, though. Space it out. Next up, we have the AEW Women's World Champion, the Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Anna Jay, backstage segment. Pretty much she called the Dark Order a loser. Or losers, because they lost to the Super Clique, Adam Cole, baby, her fiance, and the Young Bucks. And then Anna Jay and Britt Baker started fighting backstage. I thought it was good enough. Sets up a match for, I believe, Rampage on Friday. It's good to get Anna Jay back out there, but I don't know if getting her out there with the good doctor is the best way to go for a returning superstar.
I think Britt Baker is gonna whoop dog walk Anna Jay.
You think so? Dog walker?
She's gonna dog walk. She's gonna do it with style too. She's gonna have her set up for the lockjaw, stick her hand out, have the ref put the glove on her, then do it.
Tap the ref? I like that. If they do that, show that the ref is in the booth. She got a whole new partner. Love it.
But I'm just ready for them to build up the next person and the next person step up and challenge her.
Yeah, I am too, because I'm very interested to see. Like, you got a lot of time before you get to the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker program. So you gotta keep her looking good. So when Britt Baker takes that belt off of her, when Thunder Rosa takes that belt off of her, it's got the same prestige it has when Britt Baker took it off Hikaru Shida.
If Serena Deeb wins, then she need to be the next one to challenge Britt Baker.
I can see that.
Even though she's gonna lose,
it'd
be a great challenge.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like, we need people for the Good Doctor to lose too. And I can see her losing too. I can see Serena Deeb losing to the Good Doctor. Salamander, here on this channel, we support women's wrestling. I say that to say this. This match was god awful. Kiera Hogan versus Penelope Ford. Penelope Ford got the win. This crowd was absolutely dead. Couldn't care. And that was sad because I felt like Kiera Hogan and Penelope Ford were giving it their all.
Yeah, I do agree. This match was god awful. They should have just put Ruby Soho in.
They ran Ruby Soho versus the Bunny, so I don't know why they didn't just run Ruby Soho versus Penelope Ford.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes all the sense. I don't know why they didn't do it. The match was god awful.
Hey, see, I told you, Tony Khan. Told you he's a young X-Men man. He's still showing his tendencies.
He's not a young
telling
man.
you.
First off,
it's coming slowly.
First off, why we're gonna sit here, or why I'm not gonna let you sit here and slander the good Tony Khan, the good TK. He had this match. This match went about 7 minutes. That's longer than every Queen Crowns tournament match. Let's just leave that where it lays.
And it was horrible. 7 minutes, basically your time. 7 minutes you would never get back.
I mean,
would you rather have that be a minute?
I mean,
would you rather sit through the other 7 minutes? Would you rather sit through the 7 minutes or sit through all the Cream Crown?
I would rather sit through that than watch all of the Queen's Crown tournament matches.
It wasn't loud. It was like the pandemic era again. That whole match, it made it seem like they was back in the empty arena, crickets. You literally heard them calling out spots. That's how quiet it was.
You know what was even worse than that? Shayna and Doudrop, which we will be covering later on in the week. How you had it too. You like, yep, she gonna be on the road. She gonna lock you in. It's gonna be cool. No. WWE say, yep, we got one more big fuck you to go before we head to Crown Jewel. Yeah, let's just have Doudrop adjust her weight and get a pin. What type of shit is that?
I'm gonna save it for Sunday.
There you go.
Cause I was pissed.
I was pissed too.
Now I changed my pick. If they did this shit, I know my pick is not going that far.
Hey, I was pissed too. You know what I wasn't pissed about? God's favorite champion, Miro. Even though he ain't got a belt, so how can he be God's favorite champion? Salamander,
God's favorite loser.
Oh, don't disrespect me.
Yeah.
I've told you on numerous occasions, every week, he gives you at least one line that makes you wonder, why couldn't we get this in the other company? He said, I want to say he said, you gave me a body of granite and a neck made of sand. And I'm like, Miro. He said I think he said he hasn't been able to go home. He hasn't been pleased by his hot wife, Salamander. What's going on here?
They're setting up Lana, CJ Perry debut.
I can see that too.
They're setting it up by that. It's gonna lead into him either her debut or it's gonna lead into him putting himself back into the TNT title picture.
I can see that.
Becoming the first ever 2-time.
Nah, Cody Rhodes was the first 2-time.
That matters.
But I can see that putting himself back into the TNT title picture. Honestly, you know what? If Sammy Guevara goes on to have, like you said, a 5-6 title defenses, and he comes back around the Miro, wouldn't be bad.
Cause think about this, he ain't been able to come home because he felt like a disappointment. He ain't been able to face his wife.
Right.
It's gonna lead into CJ Perry debut. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's gonna lead into the debut. and then basically she gonna come back and be his manager, and then we gonna get that Miro that's motivated, and he gonna declare his eyes back on the title. They take it for 7.
Love that. Love it. He has said in the promo that he's pretty much causing nonstop carnage until he's God's favorite champion. So I can definitely see that. Next up, we have the Cowboy Shit Hangman Adam Page promo. I thought this promo was 2 thumbs up, Salamander. It was a great babyface promo. He touched on everything from the Elite, when he was with the Elite, and then they kicked him out because he was an alcoholic. He's saying that the world changed the Elite, and he had some friends that he needed to catch up with. But for the first time, he has confidence in himself that he will beat Kenny Omega for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And Salamander, I sit here in front of you, the AEW mark, to tell you, the Kenny Omega mark, to tell you, I absolutely cannot wait until Full Gear, when Hangman Adam Page not only kicks out of the One-Winged Angel, but we hear Justin Roberts say, here's your winner and your new AEW World Champion, Hangman Adam Page. Kenny Omega has done everything he needed to do with that AEW Championship. This is Hangman's time. What did you think of this babyface promo? I thought it was 2 thumbs up.
You know, I'm still new to AEW, so getting behind, I'm still trying to, figure this character, like his gimmick, his character. I get that, he's a junk cowboy.
Cowboy shit.
But I don't know. I still gotta get behind it. But the promo was good. But who do you think is the friends that he's talking about that he gotta catch up with?
Dark Order, because he was cool with the Dark Order. So before he went off to have the baby, he had a 10-man Survivor Series style match against the Elite. It came down to Hangman, because everybody else on the Dark Order had been eliminated. So it came down to Hangman, the Bucks, Kenny Omega. And they pretty much beat him down. And then over the next week or 2 after that, they wrote him off. But he pretty much distanced himself from the Dark Order and pretty much blamed himself, because if they won that match, the Dark Order would also get an AEW Tag Team Championship match. But Hangman Page couldn't get the job done by himself. So he said, I needed to get away. He had his baby in real life, and kayfabe, they wrote him off. And he hasn't caught back up with the Dark Order yet. But it just goes to show you, like, in WWE, how you can't have friends. The Dark Order have said in a promo that, Hangman's back. We love to see that. He's got his shot with Kenny Omega. It's just referencing that the wrestlers watch the product instead of just being a part of a show. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, because WWE, they wouldn't. If this is WWE, the Dark Order wouldn't know that he came back unless they ran to him backstage. He already been back for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. But I thought it was good. What did you think? I'm sorry, I cut you off to give you the explanation.
Nah, the promo was good. It just, I just still gotta,
get behind.
Watch them for a few and everything. Because by the time I got back into, like, when I started watching AEW, like, on a weekly basis, tuning in, not watching it, but at least tuning into it, he wasn't on TV then.
Right.
But I knew of him. But I knew of him because I knew he came from New Japan. He was part of the jump ship of, the start of AEW. So I knew of him. But he was like, I never seen him wrestle. So this is like my first type of views of him.
Makes sense. Nah, and of course, I'm gonna get you better. Main event: Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish.
Match of the night.
Absolutely. Bryan Danielson gets the win with a disgusting looking heel hook. When he transitioned into the heel hook, and I just saw the torque on the heel, I didn't want to see it more. Bobby Fish and Bryan Danielson, just like Bryan Danielson and Minoru Suzuki, it's just something about these hard hitting matches that have me scared for Bryan Danielson's health. But it looked like he's having fun. Looked like he's having a lot of fun. This match was great. Match of the night. Like I said, the Dark Order versus Super Click, it's close. And it's close too. But Bryan Danielson, Bobby Fish, you can't get no better than that. What did you think of the main event?
You know, I'm starting to. I don't like all these losses that Bobby Fish is putting up.
Yeah, I mean, he just got there. What, you just thought he was gonna come in and get pushed to the moon?
Nah, but
like
I thought
50.
they was gonna that first match with Sammy Guevara. That was just to get build a hype up. Boom, you lost. That's cool. But then they could have had him go on and face a couple people that get some wins on his belt. I don't want him to be there just to put on a good match, but he gonna, because the losses that he do have is there was great matches. So I don't want him to put on just be there just to be the one that, if you want to have a great match, book Bobby. I want them to actually use him to his potential, because if that's the case, he could have just stayed in WWE and just put on great matches there. Call it a career.
I mean, they fired him.
They did.
They fired him. They didn't see nothing in it. I do see what you mean. I mean, I just think, like, Bobby Fish he's damn near 50. He in the mid-40s. He ain't got that much longer. He needs to be putting over. I mean, don't get me wrong. He ain't put over Bryan Danielson. I mean, Bryan Danielson. If anything, Bryan Danielson put him over.
Right.
But, he should be putting over the younger talent he steps in the ring with. I mean, I could see Bobby Fish winning some championship gold if we get a Kyle O'Reilly in there. I can see that. And if he could even be a long shot for the TNT Championship years down the line before he retires, I can see that as well. But I don't agree with that. I mean, he's there to take losses, put up great matches, have fantastic matches, and you're taking the loss. It's okay.
I don't want to see that. I don't know. I be hurt. I be having, it hits different coming from WWE.
I feel you. That is it for Dynamite. We're going to hurry up and breeze through this last part of Dynamite real quick. Salamander, wrestler of the night for me, Bryan Danielson, not even a question. Match of the night, Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish, not even a question. We got some news to jump into before we jump into the first story. Wrestler of the night, match of the night.
Bryan Danielson and Bryan Danielson and Bobby Fish.
As it should. As it should.
In my opinion, I think Bryan Danielson already had 2 5-star caliber matches already.
I can see that. The Kenny Omega in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, low key, I give him 3 because that Minoru Suzuki Bryan Danielson match was top notch.
I think that was more 4.5.
4.5. I can see that. Jumping into the first news story, Salamander. Remember when we touched on WWE versus AEW ticket sales, UBS Arena, Long Island, New York?
Yeah.
So the first story, WWE slashes ticket prices for Raw in Long Island as AEW nearly sells out the same venue. The ticket sales for Monday Night Raw, WWE, is $3,130, and that's even after a advertised tribal chief. Then Dynamite sold 7,639. That's 80%. And WrestleTix said that some of the upper decks were 30 plus. Now some are $15. What do you have to say about that? WWE slashing, cutting tickets pretty much 50% and up to try to fill this arena.
This is for SmackDown?
No, this is Monday Night Raw.
They got Roman on there.
And they got Roman on there.
You know what I would say?
What's that?
They'll sell out. They will promote my boy Bobby. Headline.
Really?
Because you got this guy that need his cousins to help him. That's why they ain't sell out.
I hear you. You just love disrespecting the tribal chief. I just find it funny that AEW has nearly sold this arena out, and there hasn't been anything advertised for that show yet. And WWE is saying the tribal chief will be there, yet they haven't sold above 4,000.
You know why too?
Why?
Because the last time they advertised the Tribal Chief, it was for a motherfucking tag match, just to give us a motherfucking triple threat what they wanted for the first place. So they kind of think it's gonna be a motherfucker. It's probably gonna be a swerve. They gonna come out. They promote him for this, but it's gonna lead into something else. But this ain't Raw Super Show. Why they keep having SmackDown people show up on Raw? That's what I'm not getting.
Because it's the head of the table, and it's the Tribal Chief, and they got to use that to try to get people in there.
They should use Brock Lesnar. He a free agent. It make more sense that way.
He probably will be on there. He probably will be on there. I guarantee you they give us Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar since they don't need a belt.
And they should get that to us. That's what they should be advertising. Shit, I'll advertise that shit. But now, because then people will be like, well, we know Brock is going to lose on Saudi Arabia. They're advertising it.
You never know.
But they should start advertising. They should start advertising that like right after Saudi. Giving it to us on regular TV. They're definitely tuned in. They'll probably reach 2. Nah. I would like more of a build-up instead of them just throwing that on us. I would like more of a build-up with that.
Makes sense. So our next story is coming from WrestlingNews.co. WWE is changing Karrion Kross's character again. He's going to be more psycho, but also while being calm and cool. And no, Scarlett will not be joining him on the main roster.
So he's a serial killer.
Pretty much. But that's what he was in NXT, just with a hot wife. Yeah. Which I don't understand, because in NXT, he had the great gimmick.
You know Vince McMahon, he don't understand shit. He'll see some shit and be like, but what if we do this? Remember the one gimmick with the dude that was in love with his sister or his mama? That incest shit? That had a gimmick.
No, what was that?
This was like early 2000s.
No.
I forgot the name. He wore a white shirt and a red hat all the time.
A white shirt and a red hat?
Yeah, I think like they try to make him like mentally not there. But like, I guess like his girlfriend was like his mom or his sister. It was one of them.
The only mentally person I can think of is Eugene.
They even gave us that. And I'm like, they gave us some. Just that gimmick I just said, Eugene, Snitsky, all of these gimmicks. I mean, they all came from the minds of Vince McMahon.
You know what? To make him look better, pal. Put him in a helmet. Take away the hot wife.
They try to put a dot over Christian's face every time he was on TV, a blue dot. And what type of gimmick is that? Like, all of these things came from the mind of Vince McMahon, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they changed them, seeing that it didn't work, now they're bringing them back. They bring them back slowly. Then I think more outrage will come out. Like, okay, we got the gimmick. Now we need, the wife to come back. Then they'll probably go ahead and do that. But Vince McMahon, he don't understand shit right now. He basically getting to the point where he don't want to tell Triple H like, yeah, you right.
I can see that. You know what? I want to be a fly on the wall for that Seth Rollins Fiend Hell in a Cell discussion. Hey, Seth. We're going to do a non-finish in the Hell in a Cell. Seth. Vince, what are you talking about? Yeah, Seth. We're going to have you hit Bray Wyatt with a big mallet. And we're going to call for a disqualification. Vince, there's never been a non-finish in the Hell in a Cell. That's the point. No, pal, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just go out and do what you're told.
That makes no sense. It's a fucking Hell in a Cell. That's the whole point. It's a point. The point of the match is so you won't run. You can't run. You can't escape the ass whooping that you better get. That's what the whole point of this Hell in a Cell. So why call a DQ for a non-DQ match? That's like calling a DQ for a motherfucking no holds bar match, or having a ladder match and then calling for the bell when somebody go for a penitent.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or the Royal Rumble, somebody tapping out, talking about you eliminated. It's over at the top rope.
Hey Seth, we're going to Saudi. We're going to want you to do another Hell in a Cell match. Yeah, we're going to do it against Edge. Vince, the last time I was at a Hell in a Cell match, it didn't work out that good. Nah, don't worry about it. That guy's no longer with the company. He won't be a problem.
Like, he's not the problem, you are. That's what it is.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Moving on, Salamander. We have our next story. Junior Dos Santos calls out Roman Reigns following his AEW comments. This is coming from comicbook.com. I love the Tribal Chief, Salamander. I love the Tribal Chief. He brought up CM Punk, and he was just talking about how CM Punk didn't have a good UFC career. The AEW mark in me cannot let this slide. But this is what Roman said. Roman said, I don't think anybody really believes someone 200 pounds soaking wet with no explosive bone in their body could ever really do anything to me. I'm 6'3", 265 pounds, a legitimate athlete who can throw some weight around and has been on the gridiron at the highest level. D1, all ACC. I probably would have maintained in the NFL if my health issues didn't happen when I was 22 years old. So when it comes down to it, I'll throw him and pretty much the rest of that roster out of the club, no problem. They're just little brothers, Cool. Don't even mind it. So then, Junior Dos Santos, former UFC heavyweight champion, Junior Dos Santos, he replied on Twitter and he added Roman. He said, hey, Roman, I heard your interview. Please send me the address of the club you will throw me and my little brothers out of. #AEW. What do you think about this? What do you think about the whole thing in general?
Roman, he gotta talk shit because of his character. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. He just talking shit just because his character right now. He got to be the big badass of the WWE. I don't think it's true though.
I hear you, and I love what the Tribal Chief said. But do you really think he's about to throw Junior Dos Santos and Jorge Masvidal out the club?
Nah.
I don't think that either. And I absolutely love
it's a possibility though.
You really think
he been knocked out 7 times?
You really think? That's true.
So it's a possibility. That means he got a weak chin.
But you really think Roman Reigns is about to throw Junior Dos Santos out the club?
He can put in the guarantee on him.
Boy, I guarantee you Roman go for that spear, he smack his head on the concrete wall.
Come on now. That would be a nice matchup. I would love to see.
I would love to see Junior Dos Santos versus the head of the table, my Tribal Chief, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. I would absolutely love it. But still, head of the table, let's be honest, you're only good now because they had no choice. They had no choice but to turn you heel. Am I right or wrong?
You right.
They had no choice. You couldn't get it done as a babyface. Right or wrong?
You right.
They wanted you as a heel. That's where we as the fans felt you should have been. And don't get me wrong, Salamander, the Tribal Chiefs matches have been absolutely fantastic, but they've been nothing to take like second glances at. Most of the matches that I've seen from the Tribal Chief, I'm always impressed with his opponent. When he won against Edge and Daniel Bryan, I was more impressed with Daniel Bryan. He won against Cesaro. I was more impressed with Cesaro. He won against Edge. I was more impressed with Edge. He won against John Cena. I was more impressed with John Cena. So let's not get it twisted. I fuss with the Tribal Chief. That's my Tribal Chief, the head of the table. But it's really the position that you're in within the company that's allowing you to talk this way. Because you weren't talking like this when you were the baby face that nobody wanted. Am I right or wrong?
Are you right?
That's all I'm saying. You got any more to say?
I was just. This will be a lovely matchup between the two. That's pretty much it.
Absolutely. So Salamander, moving on to our next story. WWE and AEW went at it on SmackDown Supersized Friday.
That's what they're calling it?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Supersized. They added an additional 30 minutes. So I will preference that by saying this. WWE beat the shit out of Rampage on the overall ratings, as you expected. But the actual time that they spent together, live at the same time, I have those numbers, and WWE did not do very well. From 10 to 10:30, 18 to 49, which is the demographic that matters, WWE lost. WWE lost. AEW had 328,000. WWE had 285,000. 10 to 10:30 in the men, it was 225 to 184,000 to AEW. And 10 to 10:30 women, 103,000 to 101,000 AEW. So in the time that they were together, AEW won the ratings battle, and they won it by a 15% margin. What do you think about that? Even though SmackDown won the overall viewership of the night, when these numbers are broken down by when they went head to head, AEW won. What do you have to say to that?
I think if not Dynamite, but Rampage started at 8, the same time as SmackDown, they wouldn't even came close. I think of it more as, all right, SmackDown, people, we're not used to SmackDown running 30 minutes over, even though they advertise it, we're still not used to it. Plus, it probably might be the fans, like me, like, all right, 10 o'clock come, Rampage come out to click off, and then see their opening. So it might have been that. That might have been the reason why they won, but I guarantee you, if they go head to head at the same time, they won't stand a chance.
I hear you. I just think that when I look at the numbers, they gave you a pay-per-view match on commercial free. They gave you Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, commercial free. And they started it 10 minutes before the top of the hour.
But we've seen that so many times too.
Yeah, you have. But you gotta think, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, that's pay-per-view. They gave it to you at 10 minutes before the top of the hour. So what this is showing me is that they didn't like the match enough to continue to watch it.
If it was like Bianca and Charlotte, then I'd be like, ooh, that would have mattered. But we've seen this match so many times.
I mean, but
that's like them putting on
Rampage,
another John Cena and Randy Orton. Like, we've seen that so many times.
But my thing is this: like, I hear what you're saying, and I somewhat agree. But my bigger problem here is that match was already going when Rampage started. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Rampage started, that match was still going. It was in the middle. It was the late beginning starting to get to the middle. Because the contract signing was only, 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So they still had a good 15 minutes left. And people tuned over to Rampage from 10 to 10:30. Both men and women in the key demographic that counts, 18 to 49. I do wonder though, because AEW's been struggling with the women. So that's what really shocked me. The 103, they only won by 2,000. But a lot more women like WWE than they do AEW. They don't like the hardcore spots, the blood. They don't like that. So the fact that they even won the women's, that was kind of shocking. I knew Rampage wasn't going to do. I figured that the SmackDown on the FS1 would probably do about 1 million. I didn't expect I didn't expect Rampage to be anywhere close to that. I was cool. They got almost 600,000, so that's not bad. But I just look at the time they went head to head, and you can't lie. Numbers are numbers, and the numbers for y'all going head to head shows for AEW, which is exactly what Tony Khan said. Tony Khan said we'll win the head-to-head portion. You might beat us on overall, but we'll still win the head-to-head.
I think I say put them head-to-head at 8 o'clock for 1 week just to see if we can settle this once for all.
Well, Fox is in every person. You don't need cable to watch Fox. Like, that's the unfair thing.
We'll put it on FS1 1 more week.
I can see that.
Putting both of them head to head at the same time.
The problem is...
Even if you got to run SmackDown at 10 o'clock.
Well, the problem is that Rampage is only an hour. Rampage would need like a 2-hour show. Then you could do it, and I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
They should.
Because I think the
just
same
sell
thing...
for 1 week. Just for 1 week.
Because I think the same thing that happened with AEW and NXT will happen there. You'll really start to see that number kind of like fall a little bit. I would say SmackDown probably, they do 2 3s, 2 5s. I can see them going to 2.
I don't think SmackDown will drop.
No,
like,
they wouldn't drop
Rampage, they would have to really step their game up to do this. They would have to book like a fucking how Grand Slam was night 1.
Well,
they would have to book a match card like that on Rampage for to compete and outdo SmackDown or make that ratings drop.
I don't think SmackDown would do anything under a 2. But I think those extra 300,000 that that extra 3 to 500,000 that gets them that 2 3 2 5. I think some of those people are probably Rampage viewers that are just waiting for SmackDown to go off. I know that I'm one of those people. I wouldn't know what to choose. Now, me being a wrestling guy, I probably would have Dynamite on the big. I'll probably have Rampage. No, that's a lie. My Tribal Chief is on SmackDown. I'll probably have SmackDown on my TV, and I'll have like Rampage on my computer or my cell phone. Just keep tabs on both. So I'm gonna give them both viewership. But SmackDown will probably, as long as Roman's on there, SmackDown is appointment television.
You know what I'm tuning into? SmackDown.
Of course you are.
WWE.
You're a WWE geek. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. Let them hate. Let them hate. A couple more stories before we jump into the Crown Jewel predictions. WWE consider Roman Reigns' match as a trial for Montez Ford before serious push. Remember, there was a story that we're going to break up the Street Profits.
Yes.
Well, they're going to keep them together, but they're still going to keep Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins together. Here's the thing, though.
But they're going to be running like single matches with Montez Ford every now and then.
He's going to get a serious singles push. But here's the brighter news. They are actually happy with both of them. So it might not be a Marty Jannetty type situation. It might be where they just both go on a mutual split. Montez Ford is in the main event, and Angelo Dawkins is a strong mid-card wrestler. I like that.
I really think it's vice versa.
I agree.
I'm a strong advocate.
We both think that Angelo Dawkins is the true star of the Street Profits. I'm with you. I'm with you. I see the hype they have for Montez Ford. I can see it.
Just look at his commitment.
But something about Angelo Dawkins.
He's what, like 6'7", 6'6", doing flips, 280 pounds, doing flips, and just look at his commitment. Like, he came in, he was heavy set, he put the work in, he improving in the ring, he slimming down. Pretty soon he gonna be shirt off.
Of course. And you know what? I don't think WWE will know what to do with a very dominant Angelo Dawkins. I don't think they know what to do. I believe Angelo Dawkins is a star in the making. I don't think WWE sees him that way. I think they see him as a Marty Jannetty. I think when they break up the Street Profits, you'll have about another 6 months to a year and a half till either he's released from the company or he's jobbing out on main event to Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. I know. I know.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Next up, Paul Heyman gives an interesting spoiler to WWE Crown Jewel. This is coming from WrestlingNews.co. This is what Heyman wrote on Twitter, Salamander. Exclusive spoiler for Crown Jewel, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar this Thursday live on Peacock and the WWE Network. I hate to spoil the ending of what is the biggest box office match of 2021, but ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I will be walking down the aisle at Crown Jewel with the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, and I assure you, I will be leaving with the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. What do you think of that?
So basically, he playing. It's gonna lead into him being revealed to be playing both sides. Like he. It's, I guess it is a spoiler because you Roman Reigns advocate and you was Brock Lesnar advocate. So it's gonna be pretty obvious whoever wins, you're gonna be with them because you got a relationship with them. So yes, that's obvious. But I think it's gonna lead to a motherfucking. Like, if Roman wins, it's gonna play a part. Like, Roman gonna play along, probably like keep it. I don't know, I'm not trusting him. But if Brock wins, I think Brock is gonna turn his back on Paul. Like, Paul gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I was with you the whole time," and try to walk with him. Brock just gonna look at him like, and put his hand up like, "You stay here," and just leave. I don't know. This is gonna be interesting. It's tomorrow.
It is.
So only time will tell. They're probably there already.
I heard they were having some issues. They probably are there now, but I was hearing some things earlier on that they were having problems. Yeah.
NXT Invasion Part 2?
No, not at all.
205 Invasion?
No, not at all.
Raw Invasion? Nah, they always been.
Yeah,
We can see.
They'll be back by Friday. I guarantee. Vince ain't letting that happen.
It's gonna be an NXT UK Invasion. They gonna switch it up.
Give me Walter.
Hey, do he still got control of NXT UK?
Yeah.
Triple H?
No.
He took that from him too?
He took everything.
Damn. They about to fire him.
Give me Walter versus Sami Zayn. I'll take that. Give me that. Salamander, we come to the end of the podcast. We have just the Crown Jewel predictions. King of the Ring, final. Finn Balor versus Xavier Woods. Who you got and why?
I got Finn Balor. For one, I want Xavier Woods to win. I do. It's been long awaited ever since they brought it back. But it just made more sense. Like I said before, behind the camera and stuff, you know, in NXT, they will always call him, when he bring out the Demon King. Now the Demon is undefeated on the main roster, but Demon King is undefeated, period. So if he brings him, if he wins, that just gives it a reason to bring back, to save the Demon character and bring it back, but with a twist and have him stronger than ever. With this new twist of him being king, you know, you can bring it, put a play to it, the Demon King.
I'm stuck, and I'm stuck just like you. I want Xavier Woods to win, but it's hard for me to see a world where, because when you do the King of the Ring, it's a heel gimmick, and you're not turning Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. So
it's gonna be Finn.
Yeah, it's got.
You can see more of a Finn already did heel work in NXT when he went back. He came back on the main roster as a babyface.
I can see Finn Balor winning by nefarious means. Like maybe a low blow behind the ref's back or something that puts over him turning heel.
He's been, you know, receiving a push lately.
Yeah. And
then with his move to Raw, this just, you know, that just means that he's gonna receive a huge push.
Right.
So I got Finn Balor.
I do too. Queen of the Ring, Queen Crowns Tournament Final, Zelina Vega versus Doudrop. 2 questions. Who you got? How long is it going?
I got Doudrop. This fucked my whole shit up. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'm going Zelina Vega in 1:15. I think she's gonna do a roll up.
She can't.
Yeah, she can. It's wrestling. You gotta get out of that mentality. Anybody can do a roll up.
I mean, this is the same person that, you know, Shayna Baszler had her. And all she did was adjust her weight. She gonna go for the roll up. She gonna stumble, adjust her weight, and just fall down, and then 1, 2, 3. That's how it's gonna end.
So you got Doudrop. I hear it. I'm going Zelina Vega. It's a heel gimmick, so you need a heel. Hell in a Cell match. Edge versus Seth Rollins. This has been the best build up to a Hell in a Cell match. I don't think Hell in a Cell needs to be a pay-per-view. I think it should be moments like this where the story permits to use a Hell in a Cell. Who do you have winning?
Well, if everything goes right and it doesn't end in a DQ, I'll have Edge going off at the top. It points to him. But it is a potential that this rivalry can continue because they both is on Raw. So, but I have Edge winning because it points to it, especially after what he done to him the last time and he had been taken out on the stretcher. So everything points to it. Just hope. I don't know. I mean, shit. I'm not mad if either or win.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go for Edge.
Yeah, I'm not mad if Seth Rollins wins or Edge. I'm going to go Edge. It just seems like, since this will be his first Saudi show, it just seems like time to give him a win, especially in front of this crowd who love their nostalgic wrestlers. So I can honestly see their reaction like when he came back for the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud like that. I say next to Mansoor, he'll probably have the second biggest pop-up night over there. So I'm going to go Edge too. WWE Championship match on the line. Big E versus Drew McIntyre. Big E is defending. Who do you have?
I got Big E only because even though card is subject to change, they already been promoting Bobby Lashley versus Big E for the WWE Championship. So I'm gonna go with Big E. Play safe.
Yeah, I'm going Big E as well. I just don't see the purpose of having Drew McIntyre, especially when he's going to SmackDown and we're immediately inserting him into a storyline with Triple H.
Or they play a switch on us. Drew McIntyre win, Brock Lesnar win, both switch shows. He got drafted to SmackDown. Brock Lesnar was a free agent. Boom.
You just want the Triple H so bad. It's okay. It's mind-boggling. Next up, Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali. Who do you got?
I got Mansoor, the hometown hero. He's undefeated in Saudi.
Which is so weird because they'd rather give him a win in Saudi but not give Alexa Bliss a championship win in Columbus or have Big E lose at WrestleMania to Apollo Crews in Tampa.
That's because they know it's going to be a lot of BS that's going to follow if they choose to have him lose. But then it kind of make you like, they set all this up just for this match. Why they couldn't just, keep them as a tag and then have them feuding with another tag, but have a more personal feud between him and another member of that tag, and then you can set up one-on-one with both our managers, which is a tag partner on the side, just to get him that one match.
I'm often confused.
And just keep him in the tag at the end of the day. Y'all need fucking tags without breaking them up. What's the point of y'all having the tag title?
I'm often confused when I look back at WWE storytelling now, as in back then. At WrestleMania 21, they gave us a match between Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. They were the World Tag Team Champions, which I believe they were both on SmackDown. They were the World Tag Team Champions. They had a singles match just to show or just to prove who was better. To now putting them in a tag team just to break them up, that's goofy. It doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go Mansoor because he's not losing to Saudi, and that's just what it is.
Right.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defends against Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks. Like the Queen's Crown tournament. Who you got winning? How long?
I want to say Sasha, but I wouldn't be surprised if Becky win. I'm gonna roll with Sasha.
Rolling with Sasha? That's your final answer. Rolling with Sasha?
Yeah.
I'm choosing Becky Lynch. I think they're going to do some BS title swap that they've done many times before. So Yeah, I'm gonna go pick this for attention. The Raw Tag Team titles are on the line next. RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. Who you got?
I got Oh shit. I got okay, bro. I don't really expect nothing big to happen. It is a Saudi show. Don't nothing really big happen unless you Titus O'Neil's falling and shit. But I mean, other than that, don't nothing really big happen. It's just a big ass house show that's just so happens to be on pay-per-view.
I'm gonna go RK Bro as well, but I'm actually going to go out there and say Omos is gonna take it. He's gonna get an RKO. It's been long over.
He probably get an RKO, but I don't think he'll take the pinfall.
I think he got to.
He probably roll out in time or be right there on the edge of that. He's so fucking tall. Once you pin him, he's right there under the rope like his foot.
I can see that. No holds barred match. The Almighty Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. Who you got?
I got the Almighty.
Oh, okay. The Almighty.
I don't even need to explain.
There you go. How long do you think this SmackDown Women's Championship match is going to go? You never gave me a time. I'm going to go 5 minutes.
Yeah, I go like between 5 to 10. It's not gonna go that long. It is in Saudi. I wouldn't be surprised if it go 3.
3? Triple threat match, 3 minutes?
It's enough for both of them. All 3 of them get. Becky get to shine for the first minute. Bianca shine for the second minute. 3rd minute, Sasha, you shine and you take the win. That's how you do it.
I can see that.
They in Saudi. They're not gonna get a 15-minute match.
Makes sense. I'm gonna go with Goldberg. Actually, I believe Goldberg is going to murder the Almighty.
No way, Jose.
I hear you. I'm gonna go Goldberg. And last but not least, the WWE Universal Championship match.
I don't know.
Brock Lesnar against the head of the table. I'm sorry. The tribal chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns. I'm like you. I'm very in the middle. I can see Roman Reigns retaining, but I can see Goldberg. I can see Brock Lesnar walking out. I can see Brock Lesnar walking out with the Universal Championship.
Yeah, it's real believable. But I think the most important thing of this match, Paul Heyman is going to play a huge factor.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we both have said we think he's going to play into the finish.
But I think the Usos not going. They're gonna get involved, but they're gonna get taken out easy. I think Brock will take them out.
I can see that.
Or we'll show him Benjamin came.
The Usos and Shelton Benjamin actually have a match on the kickoff show.
I'm gonna say, what if the Hurt Business came and it was like that thing of setting up, setting up a future show, face-off between Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, and Bobby Lashley, like a motherfucking like.
So the Hurt Business.
We helping you, but Bobby, because Bobby lose his match, so we helping you, and then he basically pulled what he did to Miz, like we helping you win, give Bobby that match.
A match with Brock.
Yeah.
But when
they screw over Roman, the Usos get involved, they come out, whatever, do what they do with the Usos.
Okay, gotcha.
Brock wins, and they basically do matches to him, or they give it to Paul Heyman and leave. Like you see Shelton Benjamin whispering in Paul's ear, and then they walk off, and then setting up that. Then you see Paul telling Brock, but we just see his mouth move, we don't hear it, and then we get the answer where basically Bobby is basically telling what happened, and then he comes out, giving his answer.
That's very good. It's actually good. Like if you're going to, because my thing is, if you're going to take it off Roman, Brock is the guy, but I need every amount of fuckery to happen. I need the Usos to come out, they fail. then you need some other extenuating circumstances that leads to Roman Reigns. Like he can't just drop it clean as is.
It gives it a reason since it's already rumored that they're gonna be feuding until WrestleMania. You don't want to keep running that every pay-per-view. So it will give it a reason for, you know, he move on. He's a free agent, but he has SmackDown belt. But he's on Raw challenging, so he can bounce back and forth for each show. But it kind of gives it that feeling of anything can happen, basically. Because it's like he's on Raw, he can drop the title if he drop it to Bobby. Now it's 2 titles on Raw.
I was thinking, what if Brock is due for a mega push and they just have to tell him, and he takes it off Roman, goes and challenges Big E at Survivor Series, title for title, and Brock wins both.
I could see them eventually in the next year or two retiring the WWE title and just making the Universal, since they doing the WWE Universe shit, making that title seem more like it's for the people. I could see them retiring. If they're gonna do that, then retiring the WWE Championship for a while, like they did with the Undisputed Championship. Then they end up bringing the WWE title back, or having that be the WWE title before they changed it, then brought the gold belt back. So I can kind of see them leading towards that way. We will find out tomorrow. It's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. And things is gonna get real interesting here on the channel, guys. We got a lot of things planned. Like when I say a lot of things, I mean a lot of things.
Too many things.
Yes, a lot of things to keep track of. We come up with ideas every day. But
never lost.
You know, my motto. I don't got a motto. But yeah, if you guys like us and you know y'all want to continue following the podcast, go ahead and check us out on iHeartRadio, Apple Music, or Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcast from. We'll be on those sites. Go ahead and fuck with your boys. You know, pretty soon DB Podcast will just be on the podcast platform. So go ahead and get a head start now. Might as well. But y'all guys still be on the lookout for the Beyond Kayfabe and the Mr. Perfect Files. Once again, I'm Camilio Salamander, my co-host KB the Mark, and we will see you in the next one.